If you haven't heard of voluntourism, you're missing out on one of the most popular new ways to travel. In the past decade alone, more than 10 million people have embarked on purpose-driven travel, and as you would expect at Travelocity, we're all about travel for good. Andy and Rene are joining me today. They just came back from Kanab, Utah, where they volunteered at the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary, and they're here to tell us their story. Now, Andy, tell me a little bit about Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. It's in Kanab, Utah. You guys both volunteered at the Animal Sanctuary. What was your favorite part of the experience?
I think probably the favorite part of the experience was working with the horses. I have never gotten to do that before, never really any exposure to all the horses. So it was kind of fun to realize that they're as attention-stealing and kooky as my dogs are.
Now, you talked about the horses, but Rene, I'm going to ask you, I believe you worked with a donkey and you had some unique stories to tell. Tell me a little bit more about the donkey that you worked with.
Well, the donkey was super cute. He was better than I had ever imagined a donkey to be. He was very gentle, and he just loved being the center of our attention. And he also, we had all the shovels in the back of the truck from mucking, and he walked up and stuck his ear and like scratched it like a Q-tip. It was adorable. So.
What made you choose this place, and what was the coolest thing that you saw coming out of it?
I know this was one of the best known and largest organizations in the United States. So I know that they work with animals that are the least adoptable. And so it was just nice to know that I'd be working with animals, just helping some animals hopefully get to the next best place for them, the next home.
Nice. And how about you?
Well, the same. I love animals, and it was just nice to be able to socialize with them and feel partially responsible, or somewhat responsible for getting them a new home.
I know you guys have a ton of stories to share from the actual trip itself, but what was your most memorable story? I'm sure there's one that probably sticks out in your mind from the entire trip.
I think when we were finishing the morning up with the dogs on our first day there, they had us read children's stories to them. And so the dogs that are not socialized enough to even allow humans to touch them, they have volunteers go in and read to them. And if you're reading a book to a dog, you're not paying any attention to the dog, and it allows him to get close enough to you that he'll actually let you throw treats around his enclosure and he'll eat them. If you tried to feed him a treat while you're not reading or paying any attention or even looking at him, he would never let you get that close to him.
Did you read him Cat in the Hat?
I read him Dogs Love Donuts.
That is awesome. Be sure to follow along with Best Friends Animal Sanctuary at facebook.com/Best Friends Animal Society, and on Twitter as well at twitter.com/Best Friends. And of course, stay tuned to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Travelocity for more travel for good stories. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.